The air was electric long before the cameras started rolling. The tension was thick enough to slice with a knife, and even the seasoned producers of The View could sense that this episode was going to be different, explosive, emotional, and unforgettable. What began as a spirited debate quickly spiraled into one of the most talked-about moments in the show's history when Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana stormed off the set after a fiery clash with co-host Joy Behar that left the audience in stunned silence. From the moment Senator Kennedy took his seat, there was a palpable edge in the studio. He had come prepared to discuss a hot-button issue of the growing political divide in America and how leaders could find common ground. Joy Behar, known for her sharp wit and unapologetic candor, wasted no time in challenging his perspective. At first, the exchange seemed civil, two passionate voices defending their beliefs. But as the conversation deepened, the tone shifted. Kennedy's Southern charm met Behar's New York fire, and what started as debate began to feel more like a collision. "You can't just charm your way out of accountability, Senator," Joy fired, her voice slicing through the air. "Words matter, policies matter, people are hurting, and we need answers, not folksy metaphors." Kennedy leaned forward, his usual smile fading into a tight line. "With all due respect, Joy, I came here to have a conversation, not a shouting match," he said, his voice steady but laced with frustration. "If you'd rather perform for the cameras than talk to me like a human being, maybe I should just excuse myself." The crowd gasped. Who would back down first? Behar pressed on, unwilling to retreat. "Performed for the cameras? That's rich coming from a man," she began. But before she could finish, Kennedy raised a hand, shook his head, and stood. "I've had enough," he said simply, his voice echoing in the sudden hush. He removed his mic, nodded to the other hosts, and walked off the stage. The stunned silence that followed was deafening. The camera panned to Joy, who looked torn between anger and disbelief. The other co-hosts, Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny Hostin, tried to smooth things over, but the damage was done and the moment had already gone viral. Within hours, clips of the altercation flooded social media. Some hailed Kennedy as a man unwilling to be bullied by a hostile panel. Others accused him of running away from tough questions. Joy Behar became both hero and villain online, praised for her courage and criticized for her tone. The internet, as always, was ablaze with divided opinions. Behind the scenes, however, there was more to the story. Sources close to the production revealed that Kennedy had been under immense pressure from his own party not to appear on shows like The View, fearing he'd be ambushed. But Kennedy, ever the maverick, insisted on facing opposing viewpoints. "If we stop talking to each other," he had said in a pre-show interview, "we stop being America." Ironically, it was this very attempt at dialogue that led to the blow-up. Hours later, Kennedy released a statement that softened the tone and struck a chord with many Americans. "I lost my temper, and that's on me," he admitted. "But I walked off because I believe respect should be a two-way street. We can disagree without hating each other. I still believe in conversation, even the hard ones." The next morning, Joy Behar addressed the incident on air. Her voice was calmer, more reflective. "We get passionate here, sometimes too passionate," she confessed. "Senator Kennedy and I both care about this country, we just see it differently. I wish him well, and I hope next time we can talk without shouting." In an age where confrontation often overshadows connection, the moment struck a deep emotional chord. Viewers saw not just politicians and TV hosts, but human beings, flawed, fiery, and trying to make sense of a divided world. The encounter reminded many that even in anger, there can be a lesson, that courage isn't just about standing your ground, but also knowing when to walk away. By the end of the week, Kennedy and Behar had reportedly exchanged private messages, agreeing to try again someday, under calmer skies. It was a small gesture, but a powerful one, a reminder that bridge building begins not with agreement, but with the willingness to keep showing up, even after the storm. In the end, their fiery exchange became more than just viral TV drama. It became a mirror reflecting the fractures in America's soul and a faint, flickering hope that even the fiercest battles can lead, somehow, to understanding. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do in a fight is walk away, only to return later with a heart open enough to listen.